Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. Thank you for joining me, and as you saw in the photos, we're doing what is known as a double interlocking concertina card. So it's pretty straightforward. Most of it is just rectangles. The only thing I want to show you is the aperture. Well, I'll show you it all as we go along. So I'm just going to move all this aside because there is a lot. Let's just put it all together, and I will move it over here so it's out of our way. So we are going to start with a rectangle, untick maintain aspect ratio, and we want the width to be 11 and the height at 8. So this is for me to make one that is normal A5 size type card. So if you want to do it smaller, you just adjust your measurements. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a score line, which has to be at halfway, so we don't have to measure along the X and Y for this. Just convert it to a score line, grab both and go through the center, and then you know it's in the right place. Don't group it yet, because then what we're now going to do are the layers. So for that I am going to, let's get a square. Now I'm choosing to use this one. What you can choose to use is any shape at all. Just think about how difficult it's going to be to use as an aperture and for it to cut out, and you know, that sort of thing. So you've got octagons, hexagons, pentagons, with these shapes, triangle, heart maybe. You can do all that, but just remember that you are putting another shape through it, so you've got to consider that as well. So it's got to be easy for another shape to go through the center. Okay, so let's start off with this. We want this to be half, so almost like the card front. That's what we need, and that is 5.5 by 8, because the height is the same, and that should fit exactly over the halfway point like that. Now before we go any further, I'm going to make sure it's on the end there, which is this one here, so that it's in exactly the right spot. Also, you can hit the bottom or the top, either way. I'm just making sure it's lined up exactly so that it is the exact halfway. This shape, I'm just going to turn it 90 degrees rather than playing around with these parts, because it will make them distorted a little bit. And I've made it so that the width is 2.5. You can do it a bit smaller if you like, and the height is 5. I forgot I turned it 90 degrees first, so swap them over. So the width is 5 and the height is 2.5, and that's what you have. And then you are going to grab this and this together and centralize them both ways, so you know it is smack in the center. Once you have that, without moving that, we are going to duplicate it. I keep forgetting we can just click a button here now. And you want that exactly over. So now if we pick up that and release the card, we're going to do it again and centralize both ways. And then what we're going to do, we're first going to pick up one of them and the top layer and subtract, and then we're left with the other one and the card shape and subtract. Now there should be nothing in the middle. See, it's clicking, there's nothing there. That's the card, which I am going to send to the back because I need this. Now if we pull that away, you can see the shape is there. And we also have the aperture in the card. So before we carry on with this, let's just make sure we got this right, because then we need to grab the score line as well and duplicate all that, because we need one with a tab on the end so that we can stick these together. So we just need a rectangle, and we want it, obviously the height we want is 8, so it's the same length as the card. The width, you want it more than half, because you want at least half of it to be the tab, and I'll show you in a minute, but I'm going to make it 6, so I've got a little bit of space to go over. Now before I stick it together, I'm going to grab these two outside. So the bottom one I'm going to move up, and then I'm going to click on this one and move down. That's all I want to do, just to create the tab-like effect, like that. Now if we move in a bit closer, I can make sure I've got it exactly where I want it. So as you can see, at the minute I'm quite far out, and I only want to go over a little bit, like that. And then we are just going to grab the card and that, and make sure it's aligned through the middle. Just, you've got to make sure that one line is over the other, and weld. And then I'm just going to come out a little bit, and I need to do another score line there. So I'm just going to hit the path tool, go from top to bottom like that, make it a score line, and then we are going to go across and get the card plus the two score lines and group that so it's together. And then we'll come up here, get them and group that. So that is the main card piece sorted already. Display, zoom to max size, so we come back out. So now I can move them over there. That's the card, the big card shape done. Now for the mats, so we've got this is just the shape, it's not one of the mats, it's just the shape we need to get the mats, like these. The red and the green are the mats. So to do that, we just want to offset. Depends what size you want to offset at. Let's try 12, and we're going inward. We're going to click OK, and there's our mat right there. So we're just going to pick up the two that have made the mat and subtract. So now we've got, again, nothing in the middle. And then again, we'll just do another one if you want another one. So that's that one. Divide. And then we can delete that one. So for some reason it didn't come up and let me subtract, so I've divided it because I know it's still there for some reason. So then we will colour it. I'll use the same colours I used there just so that you can see the difference, and you can see that it's all done. You don't need to colour it, that's just so that you can see on screen that we have the frames. That is, you don't need to keep that. We've just used that to do these and to make it easier with these, so we've offset them. So they are your mats, and you are going to need them for two of the apertures. The ones without the apertures, you just need a straight rectangle, and the first one would be, so you go a quarter size down, so it would be 5 1/4 by 7 3/4 or 7.75, and that will be for, just bring one in, these sides. And then if you duplicate that, you just need to bring that size down by another quarter, which would make it 5, by 7.5, and then that's your next layer. So it's the same thing, but this will be for the front of the card and the two sides inside that haven't got the aperture on. And also the bigger size will be for the back if you want to put an insert, because that's where you'll have to put it on the back. So that's that one. Very straightforward. The next thing we need to do are the little pieces of card that are going through the apertures. So for that, we just need a rectangle. And this one, I have put 10.5 by 4 3/4. And we're going to split it, score it in 2 places. Now this we do, because we're doing it in 2 places, we do need the X and Y. So make sure your X and Y is at 0, 0. And the first score line is at 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Again, you don't have to be accurate at this point, because we can go to the X and Y and then make it accurate. So 3.5 for the first score line, and the second score line is at 7. Change it to a score line. Oh, spot on there. So that's your first card. Now we're going to do the same as we've done on the card. We need a tab on it. So grab it all, duplicate, bring that one down, grab an extra rectangle, and this one we're going to do, so we know the height is the same as the card, so it's 475, and the width, again, 0.6 will be fine. And we're going to do the same thing. Before we attach it, we are just going to move, so what I should say, to bring up the nodes, if you press once, you wait a beat before you press again, because if you press twice in a go, it will just come on and off. So you need to press, wait, press again, and then it will come on. And all I'm doing is moving my arrow keys so that I don't move the line in or out with my mouse. Click that one, come down with the arrow key, and then click off. And then I need to get in close to make sure I do it right. I need to come out a little bit. One more maybe. And then if we grab both and go through the middle, then we know that it is now equal in the right place, and weld. And before we finish, come out a little bit, and we'll just add the score line to the tab. What I do want to say, however, before we add the score line, is that there are, I can see already there are double points there, so I am going to get rid of one. Same as here, you can see. Oh, there's more than that in that one. It makes it more difficult for the machine, and also where I'm doing the score line, it's making it go in the wrong direction. Choose the score line, display, zoom to max size, and then again group it all. And then you need the layers for that, which is very simply the width. What do we do? 3.5. So we need it 3 1/4, 3.25, and the height we need at 4.5 because it was 4 3/4. And that is your mat. And then if you want more than one mat, you duplicate and bring it down another quarter. So 3 by 4 1/4. There we go. And obviously you need 4 or 6. Okay, I think that is everything. So let's go over to the craft table and I'll show you what I'm going to do. The reason I've used these colours is because I want to do a Christmas one. I've already done one in with flowers, so I'm going to show you a Christmas one that I'm going to do as well. So I'll see you over there. So I'm over at the craft table. As you can see, I've got the 2 card pieces here. There's the one with the extra fold to join it together. And always burnish your folds. It makes them much better and sharper creases. You should still make sure that it's on the right level. You don't want to be folding it in the wrong place. So make sure that the top and bottom meet before you fold it. And then you're going to do the same for the little cards that are going inside. Except you're doing one mountain, one valley on this one. So that they're like that. And obviously you've got one piece again with the extra tab on the end. So I don't know which way that's going to go, but we'll do it this way for now. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to start off with joining the 2 cards together. Now, you'd make sure that the apertures are in the middle. Just going to get my other card for this to make sure I do it right. So, this is my other card. So you can see the apertures are in the middle, and this is going to be a mountain fold. So to hide it, that's a mountain fold. Yeah. So, like that. We'll do it like that, so that the join is at the back. So let's just do that quickly. Yeah, so we want this one this way. Oh, that was silly, wasn't it? Then it goes like this. Nearly stuck it the wrong way then. So that you know the fold is behind it. Just means we've got to face that the other way, that's all. So we'll do that. There we go. So it's like that. There we go. Okay. And then I've already put my mats and everything together. So a snowflake paper, and I've used silver as well. Them 2 are going to go there, and then I've got 2 the same that are going to go either side that are just plain with no aperture. So let's just glue that quickly. Okay, so as you can see, that's the inside big layers done. Very simple, just stick together and put together. We'll just do the front while we're here. I've done it a little bit different, but not much. Still kept the sort of icy blue kind of feel to it. This is all from a paper pack from The Works, Nowhere Special. I think it was just called White Christmas or something. So it's all snowflake, all of them, everything. I used it from the same pack. Now, just for the outside of this is a textures die that I had. Just says, baby, it's cold outside, and I thought it was perfect. And I'm just going to put that on the front with some pads. So you can see I didn't use a lot of pads. I don't need to, just the key parts. And if you don't want to use pads, you don't need to, especially if you're posting. Believe it or not, this is cut out in the same paper that is. It's just the lighter bit at the top. There we go, and that's all I'm doing to the front. I'm not doing anything else because the magic is meant to be on the inside. So let's just get our smaller card designed. That's that way. Where's the tab? That's that way. So we're going to stick it there. And I'll tell you why it's this way. So these two are going to stick on the two outer panels, which means they are a valley fold. And then the other valley fold is in the middle, coming the opposite way, where this one is the mountain fold. That's how it's going to work. So, like I said, you need 6 toppers. I know that's a bit of a pain. So I've done 2 with sentiments on, which are going to go in the middle of each side. And then I had these really cute penguins I've been dying to use. So I'm literally just going to put a penguin on each one. They're just dies I picked up from somewhere. I can't remember where. I get so many. And then I've got an igloo, and I couldn't decide whether it should be blue or silver. Oh, why have I done that? What does that? Gives it a bit of a hint. With some clouds. So these I'm all going to stick flat, because I feel that's what it needs. I don't have a big silver cloud. I don't know where that's gone. So we'll stick them all down. Okay, so I might have to work a bit on that glitter, because glitter on glitter sometimes doesn't stick very well, so I might have to go back on that with red tape. But that is my little pieces of card. That says merry everything and happy always. And that one says, to be able to appreciate how beautiful a snowflake is, or the sparkle of Jack Frost magic, you must first be prepared to endure stepping out into the cold. That's the textures one. That one I can't remember. So now it's literally just putting it together, and it is very simple. So put the card like this, so this point is up. Put this through the middle. So that point there's down. And then we are just going to stick this one on. Do one at a time. So we're just going to stick this panel into the middle of that, like there. Make sure that this is all straight and able to move, because that's the most important. And then to do this one, see, I've closed it all up so it's in the right place, just to make sure it sticks in the right place. You are just going to close the card like that. Give it a second to take. While it's doing that, this is where I would put my insert. I haven't done it yet because I won't do it until I know who I'm giving it to. So there is your little card. I've done it in blues and Christmas, but obviously you can do it however you like. That's my Christmas one. Although I've shown you before, I will show you again. This is my summery, flowery one. This was my practice to make sure it all worked, but I liked it so much I'm going to be using it. So there we go. Just that one keeps slipping through. And that's that one. So that's the different styles as well. I hope you enjoyed that. You don't, the reason I didn't use pads inside is because, as you can see, it's quite thick already. Using pads is going to make it a lot thicker. So that's why I stuck everything flat down. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.